Hi, everyone. It's Gurvinder Ravery with Suitcase Gals, and I wanted to give you some tips about traveling in small groups and what perks there are in traveling in a smaller group tour versus larger ones. So, travel's booming. 2023 has started out really, really well, and people are packing their bags and they're visiting destinations all over the globe. Things have changed since 2020, right? Like there's a lot that has changed in the travel industry and with travelers. There are some travelers that actually don't feel comfortable traveling anymore. And with that said, there's also a number of women who are ready to travel. So whether you're married, single, divorced, or widowed, and it may be one of you, but you just can't find a travel companion, right? So there are many groups out there that are available and that you can actually go and travel with. But how do you find the right fit for you? And what do you look for when you're looking at these groups? So, one of the things that you want to look for is rooming. You know, do you want to share a room with other people? Coming in as a solo traveler, there are groups that can pair you up and put you with a companion so that you have a roommate already built in. Or if you prefer, you can actually uh, opt to get your own room. And usually, single rooms are a little bit more expensive. But again, if that's how you prefer to travel and you're comfortable with that, you can definitely see if that group tour offers that. If you want to be paired up, ask questions, right? Like, does that person snore? That could be really important to you. Are they an early riser? There's all kinds of different things that you want to ask that are important to you out of a roommate. So make sure that you ask those questions so that you're happy on this trip that you take. During my first trip to Jamaica, we had single rooms and it was so nice and everybody enjoyed their time and everyone was able to relax and recharge and really be able to um, have their own time. But that could be different from tour group to tour group. The other thing is, it's such a perk because you meet like-minded women who also want to travel, and that's why they're there. Women just travel differently than men. Women love making new friendships, and that's a big plus for us is to be able to find like-minded women and make new friendships. If the group provides local events, definitely attend those. It gives you that opportunity to connect with others who may be going on that same trip before you even travel. It's a great way to get to know people. But you'll be amazed to discover that others are feeling just as nervous as you when you're about to take a group trip, right? Like everybody gets a little nervous. So on that same trip to Jamaica, for example, we walked in not knowing each other at all, but we walked away as friends. It was such a phenomenal trip, and it really shows you how quickly you can bond with others when you're traveling and you're traveling for the same reasons and have the same interests. It's look for small group travel tours versus the large. I think we've all kind of been there. Just to give you an example, like larger tours that are 20 to 30 people deep, you may have a tour guide that's way in the front and you're now falling back, but they've got an umbrella up there. So you're still following, but anything they're saying, you can't hear because you've got other people in between you. There's chattering going on, and it's just not fun. So smaller group tours really allow you to wander off the beaten path and really immerse in the culture, get to know the local scene. It's a really nice way to actually see the destination and experience it. Another tip, find small group tours that actually have trips that are curated for you. That's why you're joining the tour, right? Like you want these trips curated for you so that all you have to do is come along and make new memories. They should have your rooming, accommodations, tours, transfers to and from the airport, and from the tours that you're going to be doing on a daily basis. All of those things should actually be organized for you so that you don't have to do that when you get there prior to or anything of this sort. And particularly your airport transfers are all organized. It's a big perk, especially for the airport transfers when you're traveling from a farther destination. Exhausted, you may not have even slept on the plane. And how nice is it to get to the airport and see your name on a sign? And then they whisk you away to your first destination. Also, take a look at the trips and see if they're designed to allow you to have some me time, right? Like that's important. You don't want to be go, go, go from the minute you get there. You want to have some time to be able to relax and stroll and maybe sit at a cafe and people watch and, enjoy a glass of wine while you're sitting at the cafe. All of those things, really make a difference when you're on a tour. So make sure that you do take a look at those details. And last is safety, right? Like not feeling alone is usually the biggest reason for you joining tour, right? So safety becomes a big concern. Group itineraries are crafted around hotels that usually have you city center, but just make sure of that. You do want to be somewhere where it's central locations that you're able to easily walk to sightseeing or take the metro. Maybe the metro is really close by that are sightseeing and attractions. And leave your valuables at home. I know we all want to wear our pretty jewelry, but there's so many nice things you can wear now that they don't have to be real. Leave them at home. Don't become a target. Leave your valuables at home. I can't say that enough. And be really cautious, especially, like when you're in Europe and you're sitting at a cafe. In the US, you can leave your phone right there on the edge of the table. Don't do that when you're out of the country because someone can come by and just swipe your phone, and it does happen. So really be aware of your surroundings. Group travels become your safety net, right? Like, and that's why we do it. It's really nice. And they'll always suggest ways to keep your documents safe, provide you a detailed itinerary that you could also share with someone that's at home, or they can follow your itinerary. Or you could just check in every day and say, still here. Example, like for Jamaica on that same trip. One example that we had regarding safety, we were all meeting for dinner and one of the gals didn't show up. And we were waiting and waiting, and we were pretty prompt group, and we all showed up on time and we were ready to go, but this one day she didn't show up. And immediately we got a little concerned, so we all went looking for her, but we went in different directions. Someone went to her room, went to the beach, went to the pool, and we did find her at the beach, and she was just chatting with some women and lost track of time, and that was okay. But all of us connected so well that we wanted to make sure that she was okay. And it summed up friendships, me time, and safety all in one. So, in summary, have stories, not stuff to show, right? And use these tips when you're looking for group travel. Travel is the best way to learn. So, if you can't find a travel buddy, know that women travel groups are a great place to start your journey. This is Gerby with Suitcase Gals.